Hey guys, it's Drea. So today I have a really exciting video. This is a video that some of you have requested for me to do over the years and I've never really truly gotten around to it. But I am doing it in collaboration with LL Beauty, who is Lou, who is an Australian YouTuber, I believe very new, and she contacted me on Instagram and asked me if I would want to do this with her, and I definitely do. She's going to be doing a full face get ready with me of all Australian brands, and I'm going to be doing a full face get ready with me of all Canadian brands. I have my Canada Day t-shirt on. You won't see it probably for the rest of the video because we're going to be closer up, but I wanted to represent. Yeah, so I was going through my collection trying to figure out like what do I even have from Canadian brands, because I really didn't think I had very much. And it turns out I have something from every category, which is super exciting. One of them is a sample card. We'll get to that. I think literally the only thing I don't have from a Canadian brand is fake eyelashes. I'm really excited to do this both as a collab with Lou. So go check her out because I will have her link to her video and her channel down below in the description bar. She's very sweet. I love her accent. And I'm really excited to see like what Australian brands have to offer. I know a few of you have asked me over the years to feature Canadian brands more, and I really haven't, mainly because I just feel like there aren't a lot of Canadian brands, but it turns out I have a ton. So let's just get into it. So for primer, I do have this one from The Ordinary. The Ordinary is a brand that does mostly like purely skincare, but they do have a couple makeup items, mostly I think primer related. They also have a couple of foundations. I at one point decluttered. I only have one or two foundations. I think I only had one. I decluttered it because it was like a serum foundation and it was very, very hydrating. This one is called the High Adherence Silicone Primer. This one doesn't really do anything for mattifying, but what it does do is it kind of makes your makeup last really long because your foundation will stick to it. And it really does adhere the foundation really well, especially on my nose. I found with this one that if I ever have a foundation that doesn't really stick to my nose, this one will work really well. All right, this is the category that I don't have anything but a sample card. Turns out Cover FX is Canadian. I didn't even know that. So I didn't have any foundation except for this sample card. I have two of them, so I'm hoping that a little will go a long way here because I have two of these Power Play foundations. So this will actually kind of be a little bit like a first impression as well. I think I'm going to use N30. Maybe I could mix a little bit of N60 in it, but I'm going to use N30. Oh, I don't know, man. This better be really pigmented because there's not very much in here. That is definitely a pet peeve of mine. Like these brands that want you to try their stuff and it's like literally all of that and it barely touches half of my face. Let's see how pigmented this is. No, a little is not going to go a long way here. I'm going to mix in some of this N60 as well, which is probably a little too dark, but if we mix it, it might be okay. Oh, you know what? There's another one on this side. I didn't even realize there's like two, but this is a different foundation. Power Play and Natural Finish. Guess what? We're mixing them both together because I just don't have enough for my entire face here. There's no way this one card like would fit your whole face, There's no way that it would work on your entire face. There's just not enough here. Okay, that is the Power Play and Natural Finish foundation. I don't know, man. N30 and N60 mixed together. I feel like maybe we kind of got there in the end, but it doesn't feel like it has much coverage at all. Also a little bit orange, I think, in comparison to the rest of my face. We're gonna have to bronze up the neck here. I'm also using a Quo sponge. Quo is, it's purely at the drugstore at Shoppers Drug Mart, I think. They make really good sponges. I've talked about them for years, but they're so like, I don't know how they do it. They're like so bouncy and soft and just luscious. I really like this one. I just came in a Christmas gift set. It's got this like wedge side and the pointy side, and it's very like, it's kind of like a torpedo, like. So it turns out that MAC is a Canadian born company. MAC was created in Toronto, and I literally didn't know that. I think I had heard that at one point that MAC was originally Canadian. Obviously they're completely international at this point. I have 3 MAC products here to use. First is Painterly Paint Pot, which is the eye primer that I use exclusively. Like I don't use any other eye primer at this point in my life. This is it. I'm also going to be using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Mine is in the shade N20. I feel like 1 pump is enough completely for both eyes. I think MAC Pro Longwear Concealer is something that used to get used a lot on YouTube, and people kind of, I don't know, fell out of love with it, or just other things as good came along. At this point in the whole makeup world, I feel like MAC Pro Longwear Concealer is more of a natural, like medium coverage concealer. I don't know if it was ever considered full coverage, but I don't think it is. Like, I feel like my dark circles still come through slightly, which, you know what, it's a look. Sometimes it's fine to have a little bit more of a natural, your skin coming through look. So I do still really like this. I just don't use it all the time. Here is a product that definitely has a cult following. This is the Marcelle face powder. This is actually a mini of it. This is the mini. The full size is ginormous. This has a very, very smooth finish. It looks like it has a shade in the pot, but really it goes on fairly transparent. It's translucent, but it goes on pretty transparent. So I can set my eyes with this, and I can also put it all over my face. I had no like eyebrow pencils or eyebrow products that were Canadian. So I'm gonna use an eyeshadow from MAC. This is actually the Mariah Carey palette, but I'm gonna use this shade right here really lightly. This palette is the I'm Not Chick You Like palette, and it's been a while. I don't use powders a lot in my eyebrows, but I'm sure I can get the job done. I think that worked out fairly well. So we're gonna go with it. I think it worked out fairly well. I couldn't do this without using this palette, I don't think. This is the Cargo Cosmetics Chill in the 6 palette. If you don't know, the 6 refers to 416, which is the Toronto area code, but it also refers to the 6 original kind of boroughs in and around what's called the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area. I no longer live in Toronto, but I miss it. It's my hometown. This is what this looks like. It's a very, very, very cool tone palette. I mean, it's got snowflakes all over it. So I think I'm gonna do a smoky halo eye today. I did a look years ago not years ago, I made that sound like it was so long ago, literally probably like a year and a half ago, where I did like a halo eye with a silver pop, and you guys went crazy for it. So I'm gonna try to recreate that today. First, I'm gonna lay down a transition. There's not really a light transition shade in this palette. There's a darker one, a deeper one, which is the shade Goose. And I'm going to put that just like in my crease, but kind of going slightly above. Well, this is more of a crease shade than a transition shade. There's not really a true transition shade in this palette. Yeah, this is a lot deeper and like almost blacker than it appears in the palette. I've only used this palette once before, and I did like it, but cool tones are not usually my thing. Oh my gosh, at this point, this is just pure recognize. You guys are probably like, we cannot see the forest for the trees right now. I'm gonna go into Yonge Street, which will just blend this out a little bit and also tone it down a little bit. I'm gonna put that kind of like on the edge, but also bring it down into Goose a little bit. Yonge Street is the longest street in Canada. Okay, I'm gonna go into this shade Ice, which is a blue, like a deep blue. And these are very powdery, so I'm tapping off my brush. I'm just gonna bring this a little bit further down into the crease because that did not go as I expected at all. I thought that was gonna be like a deep brown transition. It turns out it's like a smoky black. It does not at all look that way in the palette. So we're gonna use this matte blue in the crease, and hopefully that will salvage this a little bit. Now I'm gonna take a pointy blending brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Hockey, which is just like a matte black. And I'm going to use that as my inner and outer halo. The trick with this is just to go slow and build it up. You can't put a ton of product on at once. I always love to rush through things, but you really can't. Okay, well here we are, black all over our eyes. I'm going to grab a 242 from MAC and I'm gonna go into the shade Blizzard, which is a bright silver. Oh, it's not bad, it's not bad. And I'm just gonna put that into the empty space that's been left there. I just want to see if I can get this to pop just a little bit more. So I'm gonna take this BH Cosmetics Base Booster, which is not Canadian, but it's the only sticky eyeshadow base I have. A little bit of that in the middle of what I've already done. Yeah, see, look at the difference between the two, with and without like a sticky base underneath. Okay, I started putting on my mascara, realized I had to hit unrecord. I'm going to use a random pair of eyelashes from China because I don't have a Canadian eyelash brand, but I do have this mascara. This is from Lise Watier. It's the Element Volcanic Minerals Mascara. This is what the brush looks like. It's just kind of a natural bristle brush. I've never used this before. I already curled my eyelashes. This is brand new. Every year, Shoppers Drug Mart, which is like I would say the biggest drugstore, think like CVS, Walgreens, in Canada, they do a mascara sampler where they put in 8 different types. They're all high-end brands, and it's like 44 bucks or something. And then once you get through the whole shebang of it, you can pick one and you get a gift certificate for a full size at the end. So I've done that the last couple of years. That's how I found out that I love the Stila one so much. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Bronzer time. This is the perfect bronzer from Annabelle in the shade Sun Goddess. I have 2 of these. This is the shimmery one. There's a matte one as well. I really like these bronzers. I think they make really nice, I was gonna say face products, but I really haven't tried that many from Annabelle. But I really like the bronzers. I think they go on not overly pigmented and they blend pretty well. Back to Cover FX. I have not that many blushes that are Canadian, so one brand was gonna be repeated here in some way, and I didn't really want to use MAC again. So this is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo Matte and Shimmer in Soft Peach. So much comes out on the brush. This one is not too pigmented, which is okay, but the other ones I returned because it was too much. Like tons comes off, and then with the other ones they were just so much brighter and like more shocking in a way. So I was like, this is too hard to work with. But I really like this Soft Peach color. So that was the matte side, and I'm just gonna top it off a little bit with a little bit of the shimmer side. And this is the Quo Megawatt Highlighter. There's just one, there's no shade on here. These came out at Christmas time. I don't know if you can still get them, but Quo is always doing special like capsule collections. So they have their main collection. I am just gonna mix these together. They have their main collection, but they always bring out these random like little things of like, here's a cactus makeup collection and here's this and that. Anyway, this came out at Christmas. I'm sure they will re-release this formula or something at some point because they're like really intense and beautiful. I don't have the Pixie ones, but I kept hearing that these were a dupe for the Pixie ones. I'm gonna set my face with the Lise Watier Magnifix. I feel like this is a look. This is a made up makeup look today. I really wasn't sure how this was gonna turn out, so I pulled 2 lipsticks to use. I'm gonna put this one on first because I don't think it's gonna work with this look, but I love it. This is from Bite Beauty. It's got Toronto on there with the maple leaf, and it's called Bite of T.O. And I just wanted to use this because of that, but I don't really think it's gonna work with this look. It's just a really warm red. It was described, I think, as a maple red. I don't know. I actually kind of like it, but it's a lot. So I wanted to show you guys this one. I'm going to show you this other one from Bite. Bite is also Canadian-born brand, although I don't think they are anymore. I think they were sold, but they were originally Canadian. This one is in the shade Sorbet, which is a much more like muted pink, but still pink, not nude. Okay, so this is Bite Sorbet. It's a very cool tone pink. I'm not sure that I think it works, but it's a little bit Barbie-ish. Not sure how I like it. Let me know in the comments which one you like better, because now I am so completely torn. But let's feature the Canada flag again with the whole Canadian makeup look. For those of you that have been asking for years for me to do this, finally did it. I hope that you really liked it. I'm shocked that I had so much Canadian makeup in my collection. And actually there were a lot of brands, like I didn't even realize Cover FX was Canadian, but they are, or at least originally originated here. So definitely go check out Lou's channel. I'm really excited to see like what Australian brands have to offer, because I don't really know of a lot of Australian brands over here in Canada. And she's a small creator. It's always really nice to give small creators a little bit of a boost. So if you want to go over there and comment, let her know that you came from here, and also subscribe to her. I'm sure she would love that. I think she's doing some really great stuff. I hope that you really enjoyed this. I hope that you're having a great day, that you're speaking kindly to yourself, especially when you look in the mirror. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video.